New tank top, who dis? Okay. Thank you so much, everyone that watched my video that I posted last night about Only Murders in the Building. The comments I've gotten so far are so amazing and thought-provoking, and I just want to tell you how much I truly appreciate the interaction and talking about our theories and having a community to talk to about the show, because it is amazingly done, as you know. After I posted the video last night, I talked to my husband. We came up with a couple more things to talk about, and we watched a couple episodes over again today. We both had the day off. So I'm making this video off the cuff again because I had so much I wanted to talk about, and it's just so exciting that people are watching. So first point that I'm talking about today, Mrs. Gambolini. This is Bunny's talking bird that mimics what it hears and repeats things it hears and sees, including things from the television, things Bunny teaches it to say, conversations. It knows how to say some things on its own as well. So they showed the bird in a few different scenes in episode 2 and 3, interacting with Bunny and talking. And I do truly believe, and they glossed over this just a little bit, the bird saw probably who stole the painting, because the bird's cage was kept in Bunny's bedroom. The painting was in the bedroom. If you remember the episode after she passed away, Uma and Howard went into the bedroom to get the painting because they were going to have it appraised. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And the bird is kept in there. So if somebody did take the painting, the bird saw who it was. Also, the bird could be the prime witness, besides Lucy, to Bunny's actual murder at that time in her apartment. And I feel like they glossed over that, and we should try to explore that more, because the bird may be able to tell us something, or something could trigger the bird maybe later in a different episode to say who it was or what they look like or something. And we already know that Bunny knew the person that knocked on her door when she was attacked, because she said, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And you wouldn't say that to someone you didn't know. So the bird possibly knew the person because they were someone that lived in the building or that Bunny knew that came to her apartment before. Okay, so next, Howard. There's a lot about Howard that bugs me. I can tell the way he's acting, and it's brilliant writing and brilliant acting on his part. He knows a lot more than he's saying about the whole situation. I don't know if he's necessarily a murderer, but why was he pushing the trio, Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin, to go to the memorial that they weren't invited to for Bunny? And they were kind of joking about, always the murderer would go to the memorial or the funeral so people don't suspect it's them. And he's like, well, you guys should go and see if the person who did it's there. Is he trying to help them and saying the murderer was there at the party? So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it. Maybe they think Howard's suspicious, but I feel like that was some kind of hint to them that they didn't pick up on. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I just thought it was odd that he was pushing them to really go to this memorial, especially when they were already suspects in that person's murder. They thought it was more respectful not to go. So I don't know. Okay. So was he trying to throw them off of his trail too, I guess, is my other question. So if he did it, would it be smart of him to say, hey, you guys should try to see if there's somebody at the memorial that probably did it? You could ask more questions to throw them off by them thinking he's helping them. Okay, Uma. So this was her best friend. This was Bunny's best friend. She said at the memorial to the trio and to Howard, Bunny didn't have anyone in this whole world. She had no family. And she was her best friend, so she would know, like, if she had a relative or a daughter or a son or a cousin, something, I would think. But then, like, 2 seconds later, her mother walks in. So who invited her mother to the memorial if she didn't have any family, or the people that lived in the building and her best friend thought she didn't have any family? I just, as some of the statements don't line up. Like, and the writing is so good on this show. They're very good at very subtle things, or just working in like one line and then moving on to another topic. And it's really interesting because I feel like the writers are masters at distraction and like throwing in a bit of humor and then quickly changing the subject in the conversation or the scene when you're kind of starting to like put pieces together. And I don't know how they do that so well, but they do. So Uma was supposed to be her best friend. She said she didn't have anyone in this world. She just had a couple of close friends. I don't even know if Uma knew about her friendship with that waiter. I was wondering about that too. But so that got me thinking, okay, if her best friend possibly didn't know her mother was still alive, or that she had a mother or a relative still living, did Bunny and her mother, Mrs. Folger, have some kind of disagreement or like argument or something where they weren't speaking for a while, or Mrs. Folger didn't visit the building anymore? Maybe people thought she passed away. She did say she lived in an assisted living, but maybe Bunny and her were on the outs when she passed away and they weren't close anymore, or some kind of confrontation happened. Could it have been something surrounding the painting that they didn't agree on? Maybe Mrs. Folger wanted the painting, or they had some kind of disagreement about what to do with it, something like that, because obviously the painting is very valuable to Mrs. Folger. So another thing about the painting, did Uma know how much that painting was worth and was hoping she would get an opportunity, not necessarily that Bunny would be killed, but that she would get an opportunity to somehow get her hands on the painting to get money, because she was very, very quick after Bunny passed away to say, we got to get this thing appraised. It's worth $1 million. If my best friend passed away, would I be thinking about that? Or would I be looking for things in the apartment to get appraised to get money? And who would get the money? So she said that in the will, she wanted Oliver to get the bird, inherit her bird to take care of because it was annoying. And she disliked Oliver. But you can see where I'm going here. Was she in charge of her will, or did she just find the will in the apartment, or say she found a will? Because we haven't seen the will, and she's kind of taken over because she's the best friend and she feels that she should take over, and now she's seeing some money-making opportunities, and maybe that's how this whole painting thing got started. Or was Howard in on the painting thing too? It's some things in there, I don't think there's enough information, but I do tend to overanalyze and speculate. So, okay. Almost lastly, Ursula, the building manager, we talked about on the other video I just made yesterday that she threw away a bunch of documents in the dumpster. Did you guys realize the timing of that was during the memorial for Bunny? And she was at the memorial, but then she disappeared. So did she purposely wait till everyone was busy at the memorial in Bunny's apartment and wouldn't be looking at her leaving the building to put stuff in the dumpster? And was some of the dumpster stuff that she put in there evidence of what could have happened with the painting or the murder? And she knows about it because she's the building manager. And if you rewind or look back at that episode, she dumps in the dumpster, but then looks up at Bunny's window to see, is anybody watching? And she doesn't know that the trio is trying to, sneak the painting back up. So she doesn't know that they're there. So she was trying to be sneaky is what my point is. I want to know what everybody thinks about these things. Please leave me comments because I love reading them and answering them. Okay, so lastly, I am still suspicious of this art girl, Alice, okay? And looking back at the episode when she's kind of introduced, She has Selena Gomez destroy this sculpture that she just made with an axe. And she says, like, get out all your anger, like in so many words. Get out all your anger. It helps with like therapy of like, you know, sorting out your feelings because you've been through a lot. So she like knows like she's been through a lot of like drama lately. But she records her doing this. So she records her looking like she's like axing something, that she's violent, that she's angry, and she's like, you know, get it all out. What was the purpose? Like she said she was doing it as like an art experiment to film it. I'm not so sure she has good intentions. What if she wants to use that footage for something later, like to say, look how angry she is, she destroyed my sculpture, and like, you know, throw her under the bus like she's this really like angry evil person that would murder somebody, or for some other bad purpose. What if she uses that footage and is like changes the story? I just kind of don't trust her because we already know she's lied about things and that she was definitely the son of Sam at that party. Okay, there was a one line when the Lucy episode, she was introduced. She told us that she knew about the secret passages because she used to play hide and seek with her friend that lived across the hall from Steve Martin's character. And I think she said a name and it was a female, like a young girl. Okay, whose kid was that? What apartment was that? And is that person still living in the building and they knew about the secret passages, or like their family that lived there knows about it? Could that be part of a clue of who might be involved? It was just a one-liner. She said, I used to play hide and seek in these 8 years ago. So what do you guys think? I know it's a lot, and I probably talk fast in some spots, but tell me honestly, like, has anybody thought of these things? What are your theories about these that you can expound on from what I've said? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please leave comments because I love to answer them back and read them. They're so thought-provoking. And thank you so much for interacting with me. And thanks for watching.